What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your girl Dee Dee Walker live. I'm about to go ahead and be live in the flesh in a second, but I'm excited. I'm excited. So I want you guys to come aboard or whatever have you made. Make sure I don't have any lipstick on my teeth. The last time I was on here, the entire time I had freaking lipstick on my teeth, and nobody said jack to me. I mean, y'all didn't even snicker a little bit in the background or something. I mean, dang. But anyway, what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to go ahead and get yourself some wine, some juice, some tea, whatever it is you need to get, and I will be here in a couple seconds. You know, I want to go ahead and do this little 30-second clip thing. You know, I want to do. What's up? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Listen, I decided to come on live here. I hope you guys can see me. I noticed that I'm looking, like in my screen, I'm looking really good. But when I go ahead and look into the, like on the YouTube part, I'm like jumping all over the place. So please bear with me. I just wanted to come on here and talk about a couple of things. I do have a hot subject that I wanted to talk about that I think that you guys would be interested in. So I put up these polls on my social media, and I've talked about a couple of these a couple times and everything. I talked about how do you get over heartbreak? I got an inbox that inboxed me a whole story that I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about. I talked about why it's important not to look back after you break up out of a relationship. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit, give my opinion about it. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the controversial, I'm sorry, the tape that has everybody talking. And of course, that's Kirk Franklin on there getting very upset with his son. And I'm going to talk to you guys and tell you what I think about the whole thing about that too. So I just want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there because I don't want you guys to be like, well, is she a psychiatrist, a relationship person, or anything like that? No, I'm just a sister with a mic, just giving my opinions about stuff and just sharing it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. So let's get into it. Okay, so anyway, I had an inboxer. I did like a poll like a while ago, and you know, like I named it a little bit different, but basically was how do you overcome a heartbreak? And you know, speaking to my friends, talking to them and stuff like that, overcoming a heartbreak is like the hardest thing that you can ever do. It causes you to act crazy in like so many different ways. And I think I told you guys, I'm not sure because, you know, I'm on the radio, but if I did, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story again. I had a friend when I was young, and she was madly in love with this dude, and come to find out he didn't care about her as much as, you know, she cared about him. So we were all sitting around, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to TP his house. But she didn't say it like that. She goes, let's go, you know, give him a visit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk to this guy to let him know how I feel. So me, like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm, you know, we get in the car, we get there, and I'm like, she's like, that's the house. I'm like, yeah, that's the house. Tell him how you feel. And she opens up her trunk, and she had all of this toilet paper, which is crazy because now I'm thinking when that whole thing about toilet paper, remember when the whole pandemic started, they kind of like, toilet paper was like gone, like where the hell toilet paper go? Well, I think my friend had it because her whole trunk was full of toilet paper. And I get in the car and I'm like squirting down, and she's like TP in the house and stuff because her heart was broken. And I tell that story a lot of times because when you got a broken heart, it can kind of really like take you there. So I had an inboxer And I know you guys are like, okay, what's an inboxer? An inboxer is basically somebody that gives me their entire story, and they're like, hey, Dee Dee, if you want to go ahead and talk about it on your show. I also talk on the radio on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to go ahead and do that, you can go ahead and do that. And I never use their name. So I had an inboxer that told me this story and how they were madly in love with somebody, and the person just didn't love them the way they felt that they needed that love, like that, they weren't getting it. So basically they just didn't know how to get over that heartbreak. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard when you really love somebody to just turn around and just walk away from it. You can, but what the advice that I can give you is that, start focusing on yourself. Start focusing on what makes you happy. Start recognizing and realizing who you are, because a lot of times, like my grandmother used to say stuff like, and you guys, you heard it too. Everybody really says it, really. But my grandmother used to say, walk away from a situation, because you never know. When you walk away, you can see things clearly, and then you grow, that person grows, and then when you get back together, then you can get over what you're getting over with, or you walk away from it and you can realize that it was never meant to be in the first place. So I say, to get over a heartbreak, you just basically let time go by. And that's my advice on that, just to get over heartbreak, to just let it go by. So this particular person was so upset because they love this person. They've been in an ongoing relationship with them over about a couple of years. It started off with just texting. Then eventually it went from texting to calling each other. Then eventually when it went from texting to calling each other, they started spending time with each other. And one side of the relationship started getting a little stronger, and the other person was like, nah, I'm not trying to feel you. I'm not hearing you. And they broke up with them, and their heart is broken. And they're like, oh my God, how do I deal with this? And like I said, it is hard because everything seems to remind you of them. But you need to make yourself a new normal. You need to be able to refocus your life on things that are important to you, because a lot of times we lose ourselves in a relationship, and once you get yourself together, you think clearly. If that relationship was meant to get back together, then they'll get back together. If not, be happy on what you got in life, and that's you, and that's the most important thing. So I wanted to talk about that. I felt that was a little bit of something. Before I talk about my next subject, I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out. I did a whole thank you video to my subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you guys. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. And I wanted to shout out a couple of people, because my channel is like this little itty bitty channel that's just trying to grow. And I got a couple of people. This one dude was like, I know that your channel is not very big, but you know what? I see potential in you. So we're going to grow together. So I want to shout out Annette from Cooking with Annette. You will see an interview with me in the future with her. She's a fantastic cook. If you go on Facebook, put Cooking with Annette, you can see all of her recipes and everything that she's done. Right now, she's enjoying herself on vacation. So shout out to you and your vacation. I hope you're having a good time. She was, and I call them the Dee Dee Walker Live Wine Glass Supporter. She was a wine glass supporter in the month of February. So love her. Thank you for supporting. She support me in everything that I do. And I got a story to tell about her, by the way. Annette is also a family member of mine. And when my son was sick, I had to spend several months in the hospital. And she basically she would drive, like it was like an hour, some change away every day, except for on Sundays. She wanted to rest, but hey, she would drive up to the hospital every freaking day and bring these elaborate meals. And like all the nurses were jealous of me and everything. Everybody was like, oh my God, I just went out to eat. It didn't smell and look as good as that. And that's what she did. So she has a heart of gold. So as she grows, I'm going to tell you and keep you guys posted on what's going on with my girl, Annette, and Cooking with Annette. So I just wanted to go ahead and shout her out. And she was the Dee Dee Walker Live wine glass supporter for the month of February. And for the month of March was my boy, Sean Felder. He's awesome. He's with Excess Energy Drinks. I talked about him as well. I didn't have a chance to put all of his information below because I wanted to focus really on my wine glass supporter for this month, which is Crazy Harry. I just wanted to go ahead and show his shirt. Crazy Harry. See it. Can you, bam, there it is. So Crazy, let me go ahead and put it down here. So Crazy Harry, shout out to you, wine glass supporter for the month of April. It hasn't happened yet, but you know what? I'm gonna start shouting you out right now. If you guys look below, you can see his IG and you can see his Facebook. Go ahead and check him out. He is he promotes different artists, and he works with different up-and-coming artists, musical artists. So go ahead and check him out. So I just wanted to do a little break to thank my subscribers. If you didn't have a chance to go ahead and subscribe, make sure you hit that subscription, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and talk about why is it important not to look back? And I felt like this was a good topic to continue because of the fact that we were talking about, how do you get over heartbreak? And it's important once you do sever ties and you're like, it's over, and it's like, I'm not going to deal with this person anymore. Basically, the best thing that you can do, is not to look back and focus on yourself. Even if in the future you are going to go back with this person because you feel like you're in love, sometimes it's better, like I said before, to focus on yourself. But the best thing is once you focus on yourself, you get yourself right, you realize that person is not good for you. The best thing you could do is keep it moving, because that's the worst thing you could do is turn back to the same mess that you just got out of. And I have too many friends that have come up to me and they're like, girl, I'm back in this relationship with old dude again, and he is doing what he is doing just like he was doing before. And the fellas, the guys are my friends too, that tell me stuff, they say the same thing. Girlfriend is just keeps doing the same thing. But I love her though. Yeah, you love them, but they're toxic for you, and it might not be with you. But look, I'm not telling you that you should or should not do this. I just felt like this was a cool subject to talk about. By the way, I just don't talk about relationships advice. I talk about issues that matter to all of us. So I'll be talking about everything. You can or cannot take my advice. I am not telling you, and I'm not standing here like holier than thou, like my shit don't stink. I'm not doing that at all. So I'm not even going to try to come to you like that. So I don't want you to think like, oh my goodness, Dee Dee, blah, blah, blah. She gave me this advice, but blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, this is my opinion and this is how I feel. And the thing about me is, if you got a different opinion and you come to me with something that's just like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense, I'm going to listen to you. And you never know, I might even bring you on as a platform or whatever. Speaking about platforms, yes, I want you guys on, see, there it is. There goes Bob. There it is. On Wednesday nights, I want you guys to join me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you join me, it's also 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me on 106tbcradio.com. I talk about issues like this. I also interview folks just like I do live here on YouTube. And I also play music that you guys sent us. So I want you guys to look out for some new music that I'm getting ready to play by DJ. It's called Story. I'm about to introduce that It's going to play at 8 o'clock p.m. exactly. Well, not exactly, maybe a couple minutes or so, after whatever show is before that or whatever. So it's going to play around that time. So I'll definitely introduce it. But if you guys want your music to air on 106tbcradio.com, all you got to do is email a sister, and I'm going to go ahead and put that email into the comment box. So it's the DDWLive show at gmail.com. So go ahead and send me an email with an MP3, and make sure it's an MP3, okay? Because some of you guys be sending me like I say, make sure it's an MP3. I've been saying this forever. I've been saying it when on my radio station or whatever. I still get emails where people are like, this is my SoundCloud, ma. So go ahead and just hook it up or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling that. But the thing is, okay, send me an MP3 and I will hook you up. I will talk about your whole video. If you got a video out there, I'll talk about your whole song. Where, like if you want me to, that is, I'll talk about that. I have all of that information up. It's going to go into rotation because 106tbcradio.com is a 24-hour a day internet radio station. So, I mean, we'll hook you up, but you just got to send me an MP3, because if it's not an MP3, I'm not going to go ahead and do it. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, now I want to talk to you guys about this one particular subject, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of nervous to talk about it because there's this one particular subject, other stuff came out of it, and so I want to be clear that the only thing that I want to really address is the tape that Cameron Franklin put out, period. Okay, that's the only thing that I want to address, is what Cameron put out. So I guess him and his father, I don't even know the real details of it. All I know is that him and his father was on there. His father was upset with whatever reason, and his father decided to go off on him. So you guys forgive me. I'm also writing my Cash App too, if you guys would like to support in the near future. So anyway, so I guess they were in some kind of argument, and so Cameron was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tape you. So and he leaked the tape out to people, but as he leaked the tape out to people immediately went in on Kirk Franklin, because they were like, you're a man of God, and here you are using the most raunchiest words at your son. You calling your son out your name. And I get that, why people would feel that way, because normally when you got somebody that's preaching the Bible at you or preaching the word of the gospel, and then all of a sudden you hear them just being less than perfect, you tend to judge them immediately, because you're like, okay, hold up, you're going to sit here and tell me to lead my life this way, and here you are doing that. But you guys are going to probably get upset with me, but I'm going to say Kirk Franklin is human. Is he right for cursing his son out like that? In my opinion, it's just my opinion, all right? Allegedly, we'll say allegedly cursing his son out, because even though we heard the tape, let's just say allegedly, just to protect all parties about, but how do I feel about somebody cursing somebody, like a mother or a father figure cursing their child out? I have mixed feelings about it, okay? Because I've been really upset at my kids. You had a bad day, and you're like, if you don't get, and you go off, and you're like, oh, and you think about it, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have handled that. Did Kirk Franklin have that moment? We don't know. See, we don't know the conversation prior to this allegedly tape. We don't know, the whole story to it. Me personally, I'm not going to condemn allegedly Kirk Franklin for allegedly cursing out his son on this tape. I'm not gonna condemn him. I'm gonna say he's human. How he handles himself in the future is what I think is most important right now. And right now, I think that he came out. He did another video and he apologized, and he was saying that his relationship was not of the best relationship with his son. Now, from this, are they going to heal from it? I hope so, because um, let me tell you guys a story. Okay, so my mom, my mother, I love her to death. She's like my road dog, my ride or die chick. You will see her from time to time on here. Okay, you will see her on here. You will see us having fun and cutting up. When I was a young lady, right, growing up, I was a handful, and I did some stuff that I'm sure pissed her off. Now, my mom is already sassy at the mouth in the first place. And has she cursed at me and said, you better get your little, yeah, she has, okay? She has. But you know what? Then later on, as time went by, if it really offended me, I've addressed my mom and said, you know what? I don't like the way you handle it. And she was like, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have handled it that way. But you know what? You need to blah, 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 blah. And out of respect for my mom, I'm like, okay, mom, I hear you, right? Now, that's in a perfect world, blah, blah, blah. It didn't exactly go too cool, too cutesy like that. But for the gist of it, like that's how it happened. People, and I'm not even going to say people of color, because it's like you can't even do that. There are some families out there that when the parents get upset, they will curse their kid. Like, I can't believe that you're doing it, and everything. So was Kirk Franklin at that point, But one of the things that I look at this whole thing is that, and was his son correct for leaking this tape out? But the way I look at the whole situation and how I feel about it, I feel like they can work it out, or I should hope and pray that they can work it out. Unfortunately, they're a famous family, and when they're back in stuff that some families go through on a regular basis, get put on the forefront where everybody can judge it, then you got to have so many different opinions. And there's some people that don't believe in spanking their kids. There's some people that don't believe in yelling at their kids. There's some people that say, hey, look, you better spank that little behind before you have to bail them out of jail when they get older. I mean, there's so many different ways of parenting your child. So the only thing that I could really say about that, and I know I'm like all over the place with it, I could just say, I hope the best for their family. I personally think that they can work it out, and I hope that they do work it out. So that's the part that I wanted to address right there. I wanted to talk about the whole Kirk Franklin thing, and I ain't gonna talk about it no more. That's it. Somebody wanted me to readdress the Derek Jackson situation. I'm not going to talk about that anymore either, other than the fact that I'm still going to say, unless somebody can tell me differently, I don't see where the wife is so like she's beaten down and like she's just about to have a nervous breakdown. I still don't see it. I basically see a woman that is really hurt that her husband cheated on her, and she's humiliated in a sense that this is public. And she basically wants to tell everybody, yeah, we went through this, he did it, yeah, he's a public figure, yeah, he did talk about it, we're trying to heal, we're trying to move on. I think that's what she wants to do. My advice about that whole thing, and again, I am not anybody's like advice, marriage advice, or whatever like that. But in my humble opinion, I think that they need to step back, refocus, and try to work out whatever they're working out. So, and that's it. I'm leaving that alone. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for liking and tuning into my channel. I do have some upcoming folks that I am going to be interviewing, which I am very excited about. I'm going to be interviewing I call them a what do I call it? Gospel radio. I call them the dynamic duo gospel radio folks. Gospel radio dynamic duo. Gospel radio dynamic duo. Sorry. I call them that. That's even what I name the whole, like little tags that you put, that you name it. And I'm going to be interviewing them, and I'm very excited. They're awesome. They're two awesome people. And so depending on when you look at this video, it may or may not have been aired already. If it has been aired, I will go ahead and tag it to the bottom. But the air date of it is April the 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And they happen to be, they have a radio station, a radio show together called Faith to Faith. They also have a production company, and they also have a new TV station, a new TV channel, streaming TV channel that they have too. So we're going to talk about all of that. And what I'm excited about this interview is because they actually interviewed me. So what I'm going to do is, I didn't put it to this video. I'm going to put it to this video. So if you check back again, you'll be able to see it. They actually interviewed me. The interview was awesome. I had a good time. They asked me to reenact one of the characters that I've done, and I couldn't do it. I was so nervous. They put me on the spot, and I could not do it at all. It was crazy. I couldn't do it. So if she asked me to do it again, I'm ready for you. Speaking about that, shout out to Erlina Guilford. She happens to be the creator and the writer of the soap opera called Too Real for You. I played Portia, I'm about to say Gretchen. I played Portia Love in that. She is at it again. She wrote another short story, and which she's dedicating it to two people who have actually passed away from domestic violence. So she wrote a script for that, and she asked me to play the part. In there, I play a police officer. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I feel pretty blessed, and I hope that the video itself brings awareness to the whole situation. And if anybody you know that is affected by domestic violence, I'm going to go ahead and look up the number right now. Domestic violence number. There we go. Domestic violence number. Okay. No, I did not mean that. I meant domestic violence. There we go. So anybody that you may know that is in that, or yourself, and you just don't know where to go, I'm gonna look up a number for you guys. Let me see if I can get it. Domestic violence helpline. I'm actually really looking for it. Like, they should hotline. There we go. Domestic support. Okay, so if you go to the domestic support, and the number is 800-799-7233. So that's 1-800. Let me go ahead and put that in here for domestic violence. I'm gonna put DV number. Okay, and that is 1-800, and that's 1-800 799 7233. Okay, so that's 1-800 799 7233. 33. So if you feel like you're in a situation that that you feel like you can't get out of, or you just feel unsafe, and you don't know where to go, call that number, and I'm sure that they'll be able to help you. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. And thank you so much, Erlina, for putting me, help putting me in that movie. And I hope that it brings awareness and it helps the next person out there. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about all of that stuff, all of it's relation-wise and everything else like that. Also, I want you guys to look forward to my upcoming interview, okay? Okay. This is your girl, Dee Dee Walker Live. I'm on YouTube now. There's new YouTube channel, so please help a sister out. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification number. Okay, when you hit that notification, I said notification number. Hit the notification bell. When you hit the notification bell, what it's going to do is let you know the next time that I'm live, my upcoming videos, and everything that I got going on. And thus far, I have a awesome interview coming up April 5th with Phyllis and in her dynamic duo, Gabriel, and I can't wait to have them on here. So anyway, adios, people. I'm going to do that 30-second thing again, y'all. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you got any subjects or comments that you want me to go ahead and talk about, make sure you guys go ahead and check out that email. That's the DDWLive show@gmail.com. If you would like to be the Dee Dee Walker Live show wine glass supporter, you're more welcome to do that. Go ahead and email me at DDWLive show@gmail.com. You can also support me by just Cash Apping me a donation. That would be awesome. And my Cash App is $DDWLive. So either way, you can go ahead and do that. So that would be cool. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be back. Wood. And one more thing, and this is the most important thing. I love you, man.